Well, good evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Football Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is co-host Andrew Griffin. We are awaiting the arrival of Garrett Punchy Dill, who's running just a bit late, but he will join the show. Andrew, we're hoping to be joined at the bottom of the hour by the under-17 women's national coach in
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they're in Puerto Rico now. They had a training camp in Miami. We just want to get an update in preparation for tomorrow's opening match, and of course, if everybody is healthy. So hopefully, he'll be able to join us from Puerto Rico, Gary Adams, at the bottom of the hour. But it was FA Cup weekend, Griff, and let me just run down the results from this weekend's FA Cup first round. And on Friday night, it was Devonshire Cougars 3, Wolves 1. Yesterday at Lords St. David's, it was St. David's 1, Tough Dogs 0. Last night at the BAA Field, it was Dandytown Hornets 1, Paget Lions 2. At Wellington Oval, earlier today, it was Hamilton Parish 4, Terrace Onions FC 1. At Police Field earlier today, it was Young Men Social Club 4, Crossroads 1.
Ooh.
And then at Wellington Oval this afternoon, it was St. George's Colts 7, Inter BDA FC 0. At Police Field in the afternoon kickoff, it was Devonshire Colts 0, North Village Rams 2. And up at the Somerset Cricket Club, it was Somerset Trojans 2, PHC Zebras 2. The match was decided on kick from the penalty mark, where PHC advanced, winning 4-2. So, into the draw for the second round of the FA Cup, we'll see Devonshire Cougars, St. David's, Paget Lions, Hamilton Parish, Young Man Social Club, St. George's Colts, North Village Rams, and the PHC Zebras. So, interesting results, Griff, from this weekend, and we'll start with the Friday night match. Obviously, it was an emotional night for many involved due to the passing of Jawande Smith, who we know played for both Wolves and the Devonshire Cougars. Many would remember, him winning trophies with the Devonshire Cougars, but unfortunately, he has passed away as a young man. We want to wish condolences to his family and to the football family as well. But Wolves got out to an early start. Devonshire Cougars, managed to pull back 2 goals in the second half to come away with 3 goals in the second half. Come away with a 3-1 win. Really, on the two teams' performance going in, we all would have assured ourselves that Devonshire Cougars would have won this game. Your thoughts?
Yep, I did hope to go to this game with Punchy. I know Punchy did go, but this result again is no surprise. We expected Cougars to win at home, and I guess also with the emotions that would add to the oomph to win this game. So no surprise. I assume that we all picked this right. So.
Yeah,
good to Cougars through to the next round, and hey, once you make it through the round, you never know, you could go all the way.
Yeah. I mean, we could take a little look at a team like Wolves now. Out of all cup competitions, it's now just left to the league for them, and it's all for them. It's all about survival. They're at the bottom of the Premier Division. Still in single digits on 8 points. They're only 1 win away from catching Young Men Social Club, who are on 11 points. So the season is not over for them. They still have something to play for. So Shirlo, your thoughts on just a team like Wolves and what's left for them for the remainder of the season?
It's difficult. It depends on the coach, how badly the players want it, because this is the time of the season when, again, it's cold, it's rainy, and you don't feel like going training on a Thursday night in the cold. So when you get down to March, if there's nothing left to play for, that's when you get teams showing up with 9, 10, 11, 12 players. And if you think you're already done, then your mind's there, and then the body will just follow. So I think it will take a miracle for Wolves to stay up.
Yeah. And then we turn our attention to yesterday's match at Lords and St. David's in the daytime. St. David's got a goal from Keisha Bean to edge Corona League team Tough Dogs 1-0. Tough Dogs have a lot of veteran players who have played in the Premier Division and or First Division for years, or just don't have the time or the legs left to continue playing in that division. But when they match up in the FA Cup, they seem to turn on just a little switch, and they're able to really, really compete.
Yep. And again, last week we've been doing our picks. We were sitting here wondering, Tough Dogs could be the Cinderella this year and take a big scalp. St. David's hasn't been playing that well, but there was one lone voice that said, no. St. David's are going to be up for this. They're going to snatch that glass slip out of Cinderella's hand, and they're going to take care of business. So that's why you have a player like Keisha Bean. Has been there, done that. So it's paid dividends for him. That's all it takes, one goal.
Well, that's what they got, the one goal that made a difference for them to advance to the next round. But you said it, St. David's haven't been playing well. But skate through on this side, which is, for them, it's a benefit. It's an extra game. It's a chance to throw your head in that ring, like you said. In the FA Cup, anybody could win it. I mean, on your day, you could beat. I mean, when we get to that last game that we were talking about, Somerset Trojans and PAC, nobody would have ever thought with the form of the two teams that would have had to go by kicks from the penalty mark. But that's the game, and that's what could possibly happen to anyone on a FA Cup day. And we saw, and we want to wish St. David's all the best because they threw the hat in the ring now for that second round. So it'll be a lot of interesting people watching that draw whenever the Bermuda Football Association decide to host that.
That said, looking at what's left, like St. David's got over on a Corona League team. Logically, of the remaining teams, who do you think they stand the best chance of beating if they get drawn in the next round?
I can't even say Parish because they're in cup games. They're tough. Social Club maybe. They would probably want to look at either Social Club or Parish right now on present form.
I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of teams will be looking forward to. But of course, I say that. But if you look at how tough Parish have been in cup games, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
So conversely, if your team and you definitely want to advance to the semifinals, would all the other teams like an easy game to play St. David's?
Well, probably. Everybody, but then again, you don't want. A coach will probably want one of the harder teams because of the fact you want to make sure that your team is up to it. You don't want to primarily. I'm not saying this happened, but you want to go into a game where, we're going to beat this team with these. They're not having a good season. And then you find yourself in a rut like PAC did today. You found themselves in a rut, having to come from behind and score a goal in the second half to take it to extra time and then to the kicks from the penalty mark. You probably want a tough team that your players will work hard in training that week and then, show up and show out on the day as opposed to, this is a cakewalk. This is an easy walk in the park.
I'm going to disagree with you because I like pressing the easy button anytime I can. Give me an easy game, and it's up to the coach to get them up for it and make sure they don't slip. If they do slip, I say 100% that's the coach's fault.
If 11 players, or let's put it like this, if 5 players decide, you know what, It's an easy one, but I ain't gonna train hard this week. But I'm gonna act like it. And I just show up and on the day, and I'm going
Coach,
through the motions and so forth.
coach is supposed to see through that. He knows. Coach knows his players. You can see when they're training lax a days ago. You can see when they warm up lax. It's coach's fault. I'm sticking to that.
Griff, you must be watching NFL when this guy is being paid professionally. The coach might be the only person that training on the Tuesday and the Thursday night in Bermuda football.
Steal his fault. That's why he gets the big bucks.
Okay, that's what you call it. Okay, all right. All right, let's switch our attention to last night's game because it was an all Premier Division match between Paget Lions and Dendytown Hornets. Now, we've been talking about Dendytown, who were on a run leading up to the new year, winning the trophy and everything. But after last night, that's back-to-back defeats for them. Kind of a low patch for them.
Again, like I hope to get to this game. I didn't make it, but I spoke to just before the game. I spoke to some Paget fans, other football enthusiasts, and they were like of the opinion, I'm just not worried about that game. They're more worried about staying up, and they don't have as big a squad as everybody else. So they wouldn't be too worried about it. But I guess that wasn't true. Paget showed up and took care of Dendytown. I'm absolutely surprised over the result.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on current form, I mean, you look at it, the way people would have looked at it would have been, and maybe those people that you spoke to had the same idea that, Paget's going to go in here, just try to get out of here without any injuries, and then look to concentrate on the league because they have, in the coming weeks, they have big games coming up in the league. So, but, hey, sometimes that ball bounces your way, and of course now Kyle's got to go back to the drawing board because it's back-to-back losses for him. And a young Dendytown team that still has 2 games in hand on the rest of the league that they they're in third place. So hey,
but even the game, I saw the game last week, Dendytown against Stone Village. Dendytown did not play that bad, and it was, if you talk to Kyle, he even mentioned after the game, it was 2 really, really good saves that the North Village keeper, Detroit Bell, made during the game that kept it at 0-0. And Village got 2 chances and scored them. But overall, I think Dendytown played better ball during the game.
Right.
They just didn't score. So if that carried through to last night, then I don't know, maybe it's just the difference of finishing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fine margins.
Yeah, well, it looks as if David Jones, who was on a scoring tear and over the Christmas break, and he's probably changed his boots or changed his lock. Sometimes it's better off staying quiet and let your boots or your game speak for yourself. You can sometimes make comments and then all of a sudden it all dries up, to those players and everything. Sometimes just let your field work do the job for you. Let everybody else do the talking for you. But now you look at it, Paget Lions into the next round, and they'll be looking for another run as well. They had a good run in the Dudley year. Which one was it? Dudley.
No, maybe no, it was a Friendship.
Friendship, yeah, they had a good run in the Friendship. So. Here's an opportunity for them to show that they that wasn't a fluke, and they are way to draw as well. So good luck to them. Yeah. So then we move our attention to earlier today, and we talked about Hamilton Parish. Hamilton Parish defeated the Terrace Onions, a Corona League team, 4-1. Looking at the Hamilton Parish lineup, they only had 13 players available today. One came off the bench to score, but it's still gotta be worrying because there's a lot of football to be played, and you pick up 1 or 2 injuries, and you only got 13 players. You're limited to what you got. Your thoughts on just the player struggle at Hamilton Parish?
Again, we know that they have the talent. All year they've been saying, they're just waiting for players to come back and get through injuries. So today's game, for myself, not a surprise. Like a halfway decent Premier team should easily handle a Corona team. But I don't care, like 9.5 days out of 10, they should handle them. So this isn't surprising, but it is worrisome. Like you say, if you only have 13 players on game day, like that's a problem. And 13 players against like the better teams, a Dandytown or North Village, that's not going to cut it, because the difference in the games comes down to who's coming off the bench, and coaches will exploit a weaker player coming off the bench. So 13 players for the rest of the season is not going to get it done. So hopefully they have players that will come back and boost the ranks, because I think Sergio will get him up the games, as you saw in the cup run. So if he has the tools, they could go a long way.
Sure. And of course, Terrace Onions in the Corona League, they'll go back, looking at what they were able to actually. They got a scalp in the preliminary round, first division team, but now they'll go back to the Corona League and look to regroup for next year, because I guess they'll throw their hat in the ring again for next year's FA Cup to see if they can get another scalp. So we'll wait and see what they do come next year.
Definitely. But again, like a Premier team should, regardless of how many they have on the bench, should be able to handle a Corona/commercial team. Like it's not like all the training they do and everything that's vested, the technical expertise, it should be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, but I hear some of these Corona teams train just as hard as well. But yeah. Well, let's take off.
It's only so much lipstick you can put on a pig.
Well, we're gonna take a commercial break, and when we come back, we will continue with the FA Cup roundup. We'll be right back. Welcome.
Putting down the weapons.
You seen this? Kick off the new year with the hydration you need to keep moving. Recover 180 is organic hydration designed for today's athlete, packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to fuel your active lifestyle. Whether you're hitting the gym, the field, or just staying refreshed, Recover 180 is your go-to recovery drink. Start your year strong with Recover 180. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tail flight in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, called the Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, it's silence for the Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian.
And welcome back. Well, let's now look at the match, the interesting matchup, as we get comments about the as about Carasanians gave Peppers go until they started the field. Yeah, yeah. As you said, with what they do and so forth. Yeah.
A 40-year-old could train 7 days a week. At the 60th minute, start giving on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at Police Field, it was league leaders in the first division, Crossroads, taking on a struggling Young Man Social Club team, but Social Club was able to come away with a 4-1 with a 4-1 victory. Just that extra kick in the Premier Division help Social Club over the line, you think?
This result is a little strange, and I wonder if it's the inverse of what we were talking about with other teams. Maybe it's just that Crossroads want to focus on trying to make sure that they go back up to the Premier Division and didn't focus on this game as much as they should have or could have. So maybe they didn't deem it like everybody might want to win the FA Cup, but maybe the priority is to make sure they get promoted.
Well, we could throw the switch in and say, well, this would have been the opportunity to test themselves against a Premier Division team who is not having a good season thus far. Right. But let's see where we're at. You challenge your players in that regard. Their coach was sent off during the match. I'm not sure what for, but obviously he had a little bit of frustration today.
But it's normally a mild-mannered, level-headed sort of guy, so that is surprising. So I'm wondering what happened there.
Yeah. So I mean, but now Crossroads could really, like you've indicated, turn their attention right to that chase down to win the first division title. They're comfortably in the lead right now, but they still have some games to be played and get over that line, and then they'll work on the 2025-2026 season. But they can now focus solely on just that. So,
but like you're saying, like maybe it would have been a good test for them, but I think the priority has to be you want to go up, and then over the summer or the transfer period, you look around for what other players from other teams that you could try to pilfer or encourage to come to your team so that you are stronger. So that happens every year in the off season.
Yeah, definitely. And then we switch our attention to the defending champions, St. George's Colts, defeating Inter BDA FC, another Corona League team, 7-0. They were up 4-0 at halftime, scored 3 times in the second half. And they scored early and often in this game. Just too much firepower for the Corona League team.
So yeah, if St. George's are scoring 3-4 goals against Premier teams like this, they again, as I said last week, they had to be licking their chops at this one. They were always going to score a lot of goals. I'm surprised at 7, but again, it's not really a surprise because, especially at home, like they want to eat that up.
Sure. And just to let our listeners, our viewers know, Gary Adams will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. He's the under-17 women's national coach there in Puerto Rico, preparing for their World Cup qualifiers beginning tomorrow. We'll be joining him at the bottom of the hour in about 5 minutes or so. But quickly back to the FA Cup. All Premier Division match at Police Field, where North Village, 2 second-half goals got by Devonshire Colts. We anticipated this will be a very close encounter, and it turned out to be. I mean, Devonshire Colts of late have been, giving theirs as good as they've been getting, but North Village have come on the last 2 weeks after that defeat to St. George's. They're now looking to put themselves back in position to challenge for that title and to get back to the FA Cup final. I mean, we will all remember the last FA Cup final that they were in when St. George's beat them, that didn't look like a North Village team at all.
Yep. Again, I saw the last time that they played when North Village played Devonshire Colts at St. George's. I think North Village won 3-1, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
The margin and the gap wasn't that great. It was a close game. Devonshire Colts played North Village tough, and they had possession for large parts of the game, so always expected that this would be close. 2-0 reasonable. It could have been decided by one goal, but a 2-0 win, not completely surprising, but we expected a close game.
Yeah, definitely. And then finally, up at the Somerset Cricket Club, PHC took the lead early in the match. Somerset hit back with 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes to take a 2-1 lead to the break. PHC scored midway through the second half. No further goals, and then went to extra time. Still no more goals, and then kicks from the penalty mark where anybody could have, it could have gone either way. When you come down to penalties, it could go either way. But are you shocked at the fact that at the state of where Somerset have been playing in the first division, and then they get up to play a team like PAC, who have been, one of the leaders in the Premier Division? Were you shocked by the result?
Based on form, completely shocked. Somerset have not been playing well. PHC have been getting better, and we expect them to be right there in March, April, trying to push for the league title. So this was a complete surprise. But again, like we said before, Somerset are no slouches when they're at home, although this season it hasn't shown it. But when you get your home fans and you're at home, you can, on any given day, it can propel you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. So, but I'm still surprised at this.
Yeah. Now the fact that PHC are over the hump of getting by the Somerset Trojans, you think no, it won't need the coach to kind of talk to them and say, you guys need to, you need to perk up and play each game on its merit and get over the line, and then you can relax, sort of thing.
Yeah, I would. They have the ability to rebound, and because they have a deep squad. If somebody needs to be sacked for a few games to teach them a lesson or to get them hungry again, they have that capacity because they have a lot of players that they can bring in and out and try different things. But looking at what's left, who would you say is the favorite of the last 8?
The favorite. Well, throw current form out the door because it's FA Cup. You give the edge probably to the defending champions. You look at a team like North Village, and you look at a team like PAC, and you cannot throw away a team like Paget Lions right now. I'm not disregarding the other teams that are in the draw, but if you look at the 4 teams that I just mentioned right there, they're top half of the Premier Division, and on any given day they could destroy any one of their opponents. So, I just think between those 4, it will come down to one of them winning the FA Cup.
So I would say I'll try to rank them. St. George's, they're the holders, so like you have to, and they seem to be rounding into form, and they will want to keep this cup. So I think they may be the team. They're probably not going to push and close the gap and win the league. So this might be a priority. They're not going to get relegated, not going to win the league. So a piece of silverware, FA Cup, just like last year. They've been there, they've done it, they've seen it, what it takes. So I would give the edge to them. After that, I would look at PHC and North Village.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on form, I think they're the next year, and then after that, I would go with Paget. But again, Paget may have issues with numbers, and can they do it? And so at a certain point when they get stretched, will they focus on the league? But the end it for now, and they have what's 3 more games, 2 more games to make the finals. So maybe they gear up for it. Maybe some of the students that they have on their roster will come back for one of these 2 games. So
yeah,
it is.
Well, we would normally take a commercial break, but we have Gary Adams standing by, the under-17 women's national coach. We're going to bring him in now. Good evening, Gary. How are you?
All is well. Good evening, gentlemen. How you doing, Earl? How you doing, Griff?
All right. How's it down there in sunny Puerto Rico?
It's good. It's a welcome change. We were in Florida last week thinking it'd be a nice warm training camp. And it was the coldest week Florida's had in like 20 years, right? So
they should snow in some parts of it, so wow.
Yeah, and that was actually about 20 minutes from we was. So we actually had a practice game on Thursday. I think it dropped like high 40s in the rain, which was so you could imagine they weren't too happy, right? The girls weren't too happy. Right?
Hey,
so
did you pack your woolen cap? You know, the elements on a hairless head gets to you.
No, listen. Solar panel was not feeling too sharp. I promise you that. I promise you.
You talk about the training camp, Gary. How was the training camp? Having the girls, 24 hours a day, being able to work on things, talk about things, and just go through the whole motion with them, being the priority.
I'm going to say it was actually an excellent opportunity, obviously, taking away the rather jokes aside. It's actually really good to get them off the island before the tournament, just to get them all together, you know what I mean? Basically, we had the whole team minus 2 players who were still in school, unfortunately. But just to have them all together, get them in a habit, a routine of being together on the same schedule, it plays a part. And, it just takes away a little bit of the hype in Bermuda, moving around, you know what I mean? Kind of settled them, which was good. Mount Verde was excellent. We had a practice game against the junior varsity team. The girls did well. And credit to Mount Verde, they're like ranked number 1 in the whole Florida state. So we played the junior varsity, and Thursday was good. Their coach put on probably like 7-8 of the major starters to really up the tempo, which was exactly what I asked him to do, because now it just made our girls just get ready for the physical battle, the extra intensity that's going to be required while we're here. So while the result didn't go our way, I mean, the conditions didn't help, but it was exactly what they needed to kind of just put a little bit more pressure on them to get ready for what's coming this week.
Yeah. They revised the schedule, and obviously the one that was the real big note was 10:30 on a Saturday morning against the hosts. Did that raise your eyebrows a bit?
I want to politely make sure I choose my words carefully. Now, jokes aside, it was more than raising the eyebrows. It does come. Okay, let me say we'll do what we have to do to prepare. Right? We can't complain in that sense. We have to do what's going to be faced in front of us, but it does take away a half a day of rest. We do have an afternoon game on the Wednesday. So it kind of changes our preparation for a Thursday, and then you go into an early morning game. And unlike Puerto Rico, who has now scheduled their games 10:30 every time they're playing, they're naturally going to be in their rhythm, in their morning rhythm, right? So with that, we'll just have to make sure we keep the girls off their feet, get them as relaxed as possible to get recovery, and just face the obstacles in front of us, right? So
we know what's involved, but just for the listening audience, could you tell everybody like what's involved post match to get ready for another game, like the physio, the ice baths, the rehydration, all of that?
So absolutely. So I mean, the amount of workload these girls are doing is when the game is over, you immediately want to get them into ice baths. Now, I know everybody sees the trend, the ice trend, but for recovery for the muscles to really bring the body back as fast as possible. But then a part of it is also for most people, 2 days after a game is when the soreness really kicks in. So the girls that are playing, it's a lot to have 3 games in 5 days because you really don't get a chance to rest. And then obviously peak fitness starts to drop, right? So with that, on the days off, it's funny enough, you don't want to do nothing. because it's actually worse. You want to keep a little bit busy to keep the body moving so it doesn't lock up. But it's really trying to find that balance of how much to get them moving to keep them agile, but not overdoing it where they become, you're using too much energy that you're going to need the next day. So that being said, having the game Friday morning actually prevents recovery in the morning, physio, ice baths, massages, any of that little extra we might just need to help them loosen up a little bit. It's a 12-hour difference than having an 8 o'clock game at night. And with a 10:30 game in the morning, you have to be there an hour and a half before the game. So now you need to be eating breakfast 3.5 hours before you play to let your body digest. So it kind of takes you off, like anybody who's traveled, it takes you off your natural biological clock. And everybody knows how that can kind of make you feel a little bit, lethargic. So we're trying to take all that into consideration now that we know of the change.
So what time will your day start for that 10:30 game?
Breakfast would probably have to be 7:30 compared to 8:30 where they've been on now, giving them their rest. So it just means they have to be up earlier. We have to be on the bus earlier, just transportation. It's more just taking them off their routine, right? And the effect that can have. And whether it's physical or really psychological as well, it's like anything, that one day that throws you off your schedule can kind of really throw you off, especially in a high environment sport where the other team is in their natural routine, right? So we're just going to have to do the best after Wednesday night for recovery, Thursday recovery to get them as much rest. And I would say the only silver lining is it is the last game on Friday. So at that point, there's no holding back anyway. So we can tell the girls, listen, you've worked 4 months for this. It's another obstacle you have to face. So just go out there and put it all on the line. You don't need to hold anything back. Just put it all on the line. And, the results hopefully will speak for themselves.
So are there any injuries or knocks that you're concerned about? Or is everybody okay?
We have one small knock, but it should be okay.
Work it out.
So we're just keeping an eye on it, but in preparation for the tournament, we made sure we had at least 2 players to every position that we needed. So should something arise, we have cover. And we picked a team that's actually pretty versatile that we can actually maneuver. If I'm honest, probably about 80% of the team, we can move to various positions if we need to. So we did take that into consideration.
So you're saying your technical expertise will allow you to move around the chess pieces?
Hope so. That's the plan.
Yeah.
And we got like for like, which is good. We have like for like. So that's a good step. So
yeah. Gary, we've been preparing in some rather chilly conditions in Bermuda and then over in Miami. Are you concerned if there is any heat issues in Puerto Rico, or are there any heat issues in Puerto Rico expected?
I don't think it's anything super extreme from what our first day here. I know it's probably sitting about high 70s, maybe early 80s, which, from back home in the summer, that's actually a nice day.
Yeah.
It's not a bad day, right? And it's actually a good breeze where we are. We just had our last training tonight. And it's actually a good breeze at the stadium. So if it stays like this, it's actually perfect weather for football. Credit. It's actually perfect weather. I think the only concern we have thought about, obviously, was Florida. The weather was very low compared to what we expected. And now all of a sudden we're going to kind of very warm climate. So just that day change, just trying to get the girls back used into warmer weather, that's playing a little factor. Right? Yeah.
So we would normally see in a lot of tournaments when the temperature raises, you see players cramping a lot. Right? So you're saying it's a mild temperature, so cramping wouldn't be a concern to you in this environment?
No, as of right now, no. I know we're informed today that they will make a judgment call tomorrow during the game. If they need to do a water break at the half, 25 minutes, they'll make a judgment call and let us know. But we train today at the same time the game is tomorrow, and I'm tempted to say if it was like today, tomorrow, I doubt they will. It's actually perfect conditions, nice sun, good breeze. So, but as far as the cramping, I mean, the physio has been excellent on them. We're making sure the girls are hydrated, whether they like it or not. That's the difficult part. I'm not thirsty, but you need to drink, right?
Keep drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They say they know their bodies, but this is you got to look in the long term of keeping them because we need to get to Friday. So the physio's been on them, and I mean, in fairness to the girls, man, they've been great. It's been no issues. It's been a good camaraderie. It's been actually pretty smooth sailing. So now tomorrow it's on the line, right? They have to show everything on the field tomorrow.
What's the general morale and confidence of the team like?
I'd say, honestly, they're humbly confident. They're a good group. Nobody's taking nobody for granted, but they're all actually good, pretty friends with each other. You know, they got the good group, so everybody's in good spirits and they enjoy playing with each other. And to be honest, they're actually confident in it. Like I don't see any real issues where they're nervous. You know, a lot of them actually looking forward to it. And of course, the hotel we're in is with Cayman and St. Vincent, so everybody's walking around, you know, doing a little peek at the other teams, seeing who what they look like and stuff. But overall, I think they're just calmly confident. I don't see no signs of panic or stress and
No fear.
No fear without arrogance, though. That's what I've been trying to get them to understand. It's respect the game, because football can be very humbling, right? It can be very humbling. So, and I believe if they just respect the game, you know, and put in the effort, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right.
Gary, I want to ask. Good, Griff.
Do you have a larger parent contingent that's come down to support and family?
I'd say we got a handful come down.
Handful, okay.
Not a large. You know, we definitely had a handful come down. So.
Okay.
Gary, turn your attention. I mean, going from a player to a coach, and now that you're the one got to put everything in place to prepare a team, take us back to when you were on the other side and what you think you are able to put in place, knowing from a player standpoint what a coach should be, or you know what you're hoping for.
Well, in fairness, I'd rather be on the other side. Jesus. I feel like it's a little bit easier just to go out there and play, right? But it's a privilege to be in the position I'm in, jokes aside. But obviously it's a lot more the management side as well. That takes a lot of your mental preparation and making sure everybody's on the same page. I would say, and then my thing is actually going as a player. My position more in Bermuda, and even when I was in university in Canada, was as a right winger. So I would say many wingers may feel the same way. Is you do a lot of running sometimes and don't get the ball.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? And I've just tried to instill in them that, listen, two sides to the field, share the ball, give it and get it back. It's more enjoyable when everybody gets to be on the ball. We don't just have to rush all the time. You know, I sometimes joke like basketball, football. We have more than 24 seconds to score. So we enjoy having the ball. You know what I mean? Just enjoy having the ball, right? And yes, we want to play with intensity, but more importantly, you want to play with intelligence. So I'm hoping that they will stay calm and work hard. And the phrase I've been trying to give them over the last couple of months is aggressively patient. And so when we have it, let's look. If it's not on, let's look somewhere else. When we don't have it, we put pressure, but don't go diving in. You know what I mean? And just trying to find the right balance, right? So, I mean, I've been fortunate to have a good bit of experience in Bermuda and abroad. So I know what it takes to put the effort in. And they have to play as a team, right? So just trying to instill that into them. Just hard work and play as a team, right?
So I believe the games will be shown on the CONCACAF Go app. So a lot of people here will tune in and watch. So from your point of view, are there any particular players that fans and everybody should look to see that will dazzle us, that you think are up to probably do big things in the tournament?
Well, who else is listening, Griff? I mean, I you know. I want to make sure. I want to see who's on the watcher list before I start talking. Right? I mean,
keep that close to your chest, Coach. Keep it close to your chest, Coach.
I would like to say that, in my opinion, we have a very well balanced squad, and the characteristics of people in the positions that are there, their strengths are very strong. So the forwards, quick. We have a couple girls like quick. I'm not gonna say names, but you know what I mean. But I mean, I'm sure the cat's gonna be at the bag after tomorrow. Sure, Puerto Rico will watch us, and we're gonna watch them. You know what I mean. But we have some young girls that come up I mean, quick. Like, you know, there's something football can't teach you.
Would you say pace? So pace is a strength of this team.
The striker, unreal.
Okay.
One of our strikers. I mean, she's just you can't teach it. She's just quick.
Quick.
You know what I mean? Like unreal, which gives us obviously different dimensions that we can use. Then we have obviously everybody in Bermuda knows it, but we have Evans Welch as well. Evans has been away, so she's she'll be back and she's good. You know, technically gifted, reads the game well, likes to take players one-on-one, so giving us some freedom. We have a balanced midfielder, like very athletic girls in there. Like we had Keondae Lightbourne, who's still here from 2 years ago. Avani Patton's still here from 2 years ago. Janiyah Seeley stepped up. She's still there. Asia Lay, center back, still here strong. You know, Sayerni Trot still here strong. Jayla Peets, who's endless energy as a fullback, still here. Taya Rodriguez, goalkeeper, still here. And actually, we've actually been blessed to have a couple young girls come up from the under-15s. Just highlight like Nyla Samuels, young girl, but technically good. You know what I mean? A lot of potential there for her as well. Antoinette Barry as a fullback, very athletic, runs hard, very humble girl. You know what I mean? Good decision making. I'm sure most people know Daly Olibridge from North Village. Young girl there, you know what I mean? She offers good technical footwork and skill, and she's quick as well. So, as I said, it's for the positions and the players, the characteristics suit what we're trying to do tomorrow. I'm just hoping they go out there, enjoy it, and play together as a team, right? So
it sounds like you're saying that the bulk of these players have been involved in the national team setup and have some sort of international experience. So that should bode well for the team this week.
Yes. And yeah, I definitely think the experience, and in fairness, and this is no slight on our campaign 2 years ago, I would dare say that overall the team we have this year is a lot more technically efficient. So it's allowing us to do maybe a different formation or try different things. You know what I mean? Try to play a little bit better football. You know, keep it on the ground more. Try to possess the ball more. So hopefully they demonstrate all that tomorrow. So
yeah.
So how many this team is based in Bermuda, and how many are based overseas?
We actually had about 7 players overseas.
Okay.
About 4 or 5 have been fortunate to be successful in the final team selection. But a good bit's overseas, and you know, quite a majority is on the island.
Gotcha.
So just to let everyone know what the schedule is, tomorrow Bermuda will face Cayman Islands at 4 p.m. And then on Wednesday, it's Bermuda versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And then on Friday morning, it's Bermuda versus Puerto Rico. So, Gary, we want to wish you and the team all the best. We'll be supporting from here in Bermuda, sending as much love and support as we can from here. We know it's not going to be an easy ride, but hey, put your best foot forward, and the country will support you and be proud of you.
Thank you, fellas. We appreciate you, and more importantly, I'm hoping the girls go out there and do themselves proud, to their parents proud, obviously do the BFA and do the country proud, right? So that's it.
All the best. I hope everything works out for you, and you don't get any frustrations. It all goes smoothly, so you don't pull your hair out.
Well, you know what? It's not a lot of frustrations left, so that might be a good sign, right? So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, remember when we come back, we'll continue with the Island Stats Football Show. We'll be right back. Good luck, Gary.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care, boys.
Beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the line, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, it's silence, proudly Bermudian, bringing us near.
This year, Lindo's is making it easier than ever to shop your way with our brand new Drop It website coming to you on January 6th. Fresh groceries, convenient delivery, and now an upgraded online shopping experience. Whether you're planning meals or restocking your pantry, enjoy fast, reliable service wherever you are on the island. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
And welcome back, Griff. We have some well wishes for the under 17 women's team who will kick off tomorrow at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Bermuda time as well. So we want to wish them again all the best. Now, Griff, let's turn our attention to our picks from this week, and we'll look at games for next week. But we'll start off with the match between Devonshire Cougars and Wolves. We all took Devonshire Cougars. You all got a point there. You already indicated the game between Tough Dogs and St. David's. Punchy and I took Tough Dogs. You took St. David's, so you got one up on us there. Dandytown and Paget. We all took Dandytown, and of course we know Paget won that 2-1. We all took Crossroads to upset Young Men's Social Club, but Social Club was having none of it, telling us something different. We all took Hamilton Parish to defeat Terrace Onions, and Hamilton Parish won that. North Village we took to defeat Devonshire Colts, and North Village won that 2-0. St. George's Colts we all took to defeat the Inter Bermuda FC. St. George's won that 7-0. And of course, we all took PHC, who defeated the Somerset Trojans on kicks from the penalty mark, 4-2, after the two teams finished deadlock at 2-2. So at the end of the day, Griff, you got 6, Punchy and I got 5. You lead with 15. I have 14, and Punchy has 13 this half of this season. So you put your horse's nose out in front.
I can't hear you. You're too far below me.
All right. Well, the good thing is, because it's just you and I, we have a good challenge going on for the picks this week. And we're going to start with Tuesday night's make-up Premier Division game between the Devonshire Cougars and the Dandytown Hornets. I'm going to take, for this match, I'm going to take the Dandytown Hornets. I think Kyle will get them finding the net again on a regular basis. There's got to still be a little concern for Devonshire Cougars. I know they came from behind to defeat Wolves, but it looked like a struggle for a long time before they scored the goal. So I'm going to take Dandytown in this game.
Where's this game?
Devonshire Rack.
I think I have to go with Dandytown also.
Okay. All right. Your first stop on Saturday. Devonshire Colts entertain Wolves at Police Field.
I will take Devonshire Colts.
Yeah, I'm going to take Devonshire Colts as well to bounce back after the defeat to North Village today at Police Field. I think it's going to be a bit too tough for Wolves at Police Field. Saturday evening, Dandytown take on Social Club. I'm going to take Dandytown again. I think they'll have enough in their firepower, especially if they get over the hump of Devonshire Cougars. They'll be back on to that winning ways, and I think they'll take care of Social Club.
Man, this is hard. I'll go with Dandytown.
Okay, your first stop. This one here, I'm glad I'm not first.
Uh-oh.
Paget Lions host St. George's Colts at Southampton Oval.
I think St. George's is flying too high now. St. George's.
You're going to go St. George's. Okay. And I think you take Paget.
Does that mean you're taking St. George's?
Yeah, I'm taking St. George's as well. They're like you said, they're coming on. They found another goal scorer in Sinaj Mitchell. to go along with the Hall brothers as well as others that are chipping in with goals. So I think that they'll just have one or two more firepower than Paget on the day. So yeah, I'm going to take St. George's. Okay, now I'm going to move to up at the PHC Stadium. It's PHC to take on the Devonshire Cougars. It's going to be a tough week for Kwame and his team. First having to take on Dendy Town and then having to take on PHC 5 days later. It's going to be tough on the legs, especially having played the other night on a rainy, soggy field. I'm going to take PHC for this game.
I got to believe after struggling against Somerset today that the technical team at PHC can make those players pay for it in training this week, and they'll come out firing PHC.
Okay. All right. You're up. North Village are at home to Hamilton Parish.
Oh.
This is a no-brainer right now. In the league.
But again, Sergio gets them up for Village, but I'm gonna have to go with Village. But I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a draw. So, but I'm gonna take Village.
Okay, I'm literally gonna take Village myself. On Thursday night at BAA Field, it is Vasco taking on the Boulevard Blazers. I'm going to go with the Blazers.
Yeah, Blazers is an easy pick. I'll go with the Blazers.
Okay. Now, of late, Southampton Rangers have been running hot.
Yes.
They're taking on Robin Hood at Southampton Oval on Sunday.
I am taking Rangers.
Okay. All right. Let me see something here.
Study long, study wrong. Pick your pick. Give me your pick. Give me your pick. Who you picking?
On current form, to tell you the truth, I'm going to take Rangers as well.
All right.
They've been outscoring teams of late, and until that changes, you have to ride your luck with them.
But wasn't the last game? What was it? The 5-3 game? Yes. So they're scoring, but they gave up a lot.
Yeah, they're giving up too many goals. Yeah. So, but we'll until they prove me different. Okay, so next game is Somerset Eagles host Crossroads. I've already put down Crossroads. It's going to be a long day for Somerset Eagles because obviously now Crossroads will want to get that First Division league title soon up as quickly as possible, and they'll really put the foot down against Somerset Eagles up at the White Hill Field.
Also got Crossroads, but Eagles have been playing better. I think we neglected to say the midweek bake-up game that we don't pick last week. We got it all wrong. That game during this week was a draw, right? Robin Hood and Eagles.
Robin Hood and Eagles. They ended at 2-2. Yes. Yeah.
So, but I'll still take Crossroads.
Okay. And then the final game of the weekend will be at Lords at St. David's, where St. David's will host the Somerset Trojans. You're up.
Why? It's a hard one. I'm going to go out on a limb. Draw.
Okay. I ain't getting out on no limb for this. After their performance today, I think they'll try to make a push for that other spot for promotion. And I'm going to say that the Somerset Trojans will defeat St. David's at Lords on Sunday to get themselves into somewhat of a position to try and challenge for that other promotion spot in the first division.
Either I'm being charitable by giving you a chance to catch me with that one, or I'm gonna step on your neck and open up the lead. So,
one or the other. One or the other. One or the other. All right. Well, let me say thank you for joining this evening. We'll be back next week Sunday, and good luck on your picks.
sir.
And actually, if there's anybody out there that's willing to try their luck with these picks, just send me an email, earl@islandstats.com, and see if you can beat us in our picks. Again, earl@islandstats.com. If you want to try your luck in the picks for this weekend, you can find, well, you'll hear the games that have been already picked up for the weekend, for the week. So,
Just
okay.
word of warning, you'll probably beat Earl and Punchy, but I don't think you can catch me.
All right. Well, good luck, Griff. See you next week, Sunday.
Yes, take care. And everybody, don't forget, 4 o'clock tomorrow, go on CONCACAF Go to watch the under-17 ladies team play the first game tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Have a good night.
Good night.